Satnam, I'm Sri Sundari Kaur, and this is the cycle of the goddess that you are. Today it's my pleasure to share with you some info on how to use the energy of this full moon on the 25th September 2018, so that you can bring to fruition and understanding all these what the astral energy is making it easy and favorable for you to understand. You know that full moons are always a point of fruition, a moment of understanding. In 25th September, we are ending the 15 days period that we started with the new moon in Virgo on the 9th September, that was about building structures through your good habits. So, all the dream, all the vision you have had for 2 years and a half, all what you've been envisioning through the summer with the series of eclipses, and all what you've been working with the moon nodes in the axis of value since 2 years and a half, since the mid of 2016, about what is your truth, who you truly are, what is your worth, how do you set yourself on the world, how do you make yourself visible, and shining out of your true identity, letting go of all the ideas of the groups of the past, so to dare to do it in a different way, with the axis in Leo and Aquarius, with the north nodes, with the moon nodes in Leo and Aquarius. It's now the time to see it coming to fruition, coming to an understanding. And this is also the period, the full moon that is finishing the period that we opened with the new moon on the 16th April in Aries, where you were questioning and planting on your identity. This is the moment to own it. So as you can see, these two energies get together super good. They align perfectly so that you can see what are those good habits that you started to settle and implant in your life with the new moon on September 19th, that perhaps in the moment you are feeling a little bit weaker there. So to see how it is going, assess it and give it another shot, so that you use the energy of this full moon for another 15 days to get for 14 days the good habits. You know that in Kundalini Yoga we say that habits need 14 days to be implemented. You can use 90 days to give it more strength, 120, 300, 360, and so on. So that you can really get to master your habits, so that you are not running in autopilot, but you are making your habits work for you. And it's the moment to own all what you planted on your identity. Consciously or unconsciously, you've been working for 2 years and a half on this axis of value with the moon nodes in Leo and Aquarius. What are your talents? What are your sleeping or latent virtues? All what you are worth and you are not daring to evaluate and to acknowledge in yourself. And what are those ideas of the former groups that you have to let go, so that you can head for this what makes you shine out of your true identity, like kids do, completely like Leo does. So it's the moment to see that and to understand that and to use the energy we still have until February, where the period of eclipses will come to full fruition, so that you give it a go and you completely own it, so that you are ready to turn when the nodes change, the moon nodes change in November, to start working on another axis. This is a very, very important full moon, because the moon in this moment is opposing the sun. The moon, together with Chiron, the moon is in the 2nd degree of Aries, and it's conjuncted to the center of the super galaxy. We belong to a series of galaxies and supercumulus of Virgo that, together with other cumulus, is belonging to the supra galaxy M87. There, when we are aligned there, we have the world axis. The world axis, it's in the 0 degrees Aries, Taurus, Libra, Capricorn. So there you have this axis that is called the world axis. This means for you that if you have any planets in your natal chart, -2 degrees of this 0, Aries, Taurus, Libra, Capricorn, or +2 degrees of these signs, it could also mean 28 degrees of Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius. If you have any personal planets there, this planet needs you to take it to the public stage. It's there so that you make it visible. In my case, I have my Sun in conjunction to 0 degrees Capricorn. That is, my Sun needs to be taken to the public stage. That is my consciousness, my energy, what I'm putting here needs to be taken, for example, in these videos, needs to be taken to the public stage. So if this is your case, understand what is the energy of this planet that you had in conjunction with the world axis and make it serve. The world axis is related with the equinox. We had the equinox on the 23rd September, 3 hours 54 minutes in Spain. And this is the moment to balance the half of the year. And it's a moment of really deep understanding. So I'm recording this video a little bit beforehand so that you can use the energy of the equinox also. And so when we have the equinox, the sun, it's in the plane of it's aligning with the trajectory of the Earth, that is the ecliptica. So it creates an alignment with this super center of the super galactic center. So it's a moment to access a higher level of info, because this alignment with the sun and the earth plane it's doing is making a drop in the magnetic field. So by means of working with your subtle body, number 9, goddess Hecate, you can get together with number 1, with Shakti, that is the goddess that I'm proposing for this particular moon, so that you can access this higher level of information and understand what is there in the Akashic records. Make your subtle body work for you. Download all this info. So if you've been using these tips that I gave you on the 9th September with the new moon in Virgo, to eat lighter, take care of your communication, take care of yourself, work physically, you're really in the moment in this equinox to be light and be the light. Work with the light, spread the light, so that you are able to download this info to get a higher understanding of what is it happening in your life, so that you can make it work for you and for others, using this info that the equinox is making much more available for you. Also, in this moon, on the 25th September, we have the double square. The moon and the sun are doing a T-square, that is a double squaring with Saturn. It's a moment of grounding, a moment of maturing. It's a reality check for your relationships. All these relationships that may have been recently created, it's a moment where you will see whether they have fundament or not, so that you can choose to consolidate them or to break them down. Also, it's a moment of paying for what you did. It's a moment of understanding what are the consequences of the choices you are making, so that not that you go emotional like full moons tend you to feel like, but that you take all this difficulty that you may be experiencing, and instead of going for the trauma and the problem talking, that you go for the understanding, for what is the lesson that the Lord of Karma, Saturn, is teaching you with this full moon, so that you can truly understand what is it that you're doing, where you get in your own way and you are sabotaging yourself, hindering yourself from supporting these habits that promote you, so that you can grow and build this structure for the coming 27 years you remember the last year I was talking to you about Saturn in Capricorn, and this is the case. You are building the structures for the coming 30 years. So it's really a moment where you need to be conscious, where you need to put everything that you've got, that is your whole body, at service for your higher purpose, for your higher self. And this is how we do it in this full moon, owning the identity, the personality you want to have to work for you in this world. And so this is all what I've been talking to you lately, and this is the moment of fruition so that you can really understand it and make it work for you. Also, we have the moon conjunct to Chiron. It may bring you topics related to your childhood. It's going to take you into emotional contact of things that you don't want to see, you want to react. Perhaps those are fears coming from your childhood, and they may be very related with fearing being yourself, fearing being who you truly are, fearing success. So again, to see that, to check that, realize that, and make the most of the beautiful trine that Saturn in Capricorn is doing with Uranus in retrograding in the first degree Uranus, where you can find new ways of solving problems. It's really the moment of taking responsibility of this area that falls in your natal chart in the first degree Taurus. I invite you to check in the newsletter that I'm sending you, if you are inscribed in my website, so that you can see what is it about, because this is the moment where you can find the way and establish, really make it real and make it work for you forever. The astral energy is supporting you to change the way in which you relate with that fear that is not allowing you to become yourself, to put yourself in alignment with your life purpose. So to stop talking to yourself about problems and fears that are really grounded in your childhood, and to dare to do things in a different way. The only and last warning that Shakti is giving you in this, Goddess Shakti, because it's the archetype we're using in this particular full moon, is to work with your Mercury in understanding, work with your Mercury in speaking to yourself so that you find a new way of telling yourself the story, and avoiding being mouthy, avoiding avoiding getting yourself in trouble because of what you say. So becoming very, very conscious of what you say and how you say it. I will be teaching a workshop on the 26th October in Altea, in the southeast coast of Spain, in the Mediterranean, with wonderful beaches, about this topic at 5 p.m. in Guardamar retreat, and my husband will be speaking about the same topic from the point of numerology. In the morning, 11 a.m., he will be talking about getting together, getting closer to yourself, to your soul through numerology. We are providing for you the best tools so that you can use the energy of that day, so that you can get to understand and learn communication tools that will help you to communicate with yourself and with others, so that you can get all this, what you've been consciously or unconsciously working on, to fruition, using the most of all this, what is there aligned for you. I also will be there with my book, The Cycle of the Goddess That You Are, where you have all the information, kriyas, Kundalini tools, meditations, affirmations, habits, a little bit of numerology, a very decoded numerology, so that you can work with it straight away, moon points and rituals, so that you can work to materialize the goddess that you truly are. And that is the purpose of my work, or what I'm sharing with you. So we will be there on the 26th October in Altea, in this retreat for Kundalini Yoga, that this beautiful Kundalini Yoga community is preparing for you there. I will be linking the hyperlink to this, what is happening there in Altea on the 26th, so that you check that it's really worth for you coming there and meet us and use the energy, use all the information, all the experiences, all the teachers in this festival we are going to be providing for you so that you can really get forward. I will be also selling some books, so if you want to have a book, you can either write to me using the link down there or meet me in Altea on the 26th October. Sat Nam. I hope it worked for you.